Question of the day. We're in the kitchen again doing reviews. Hadn't done this in a few years. That's right. But the 3D printer's too loud in there, and I wanted just a change of scenery and a little bit of fun for me. So today we're talking about mobile markets. Friends from UK, looking at you, Mark. This is a game all about selling phones. So let me know, what is your favorite economic-driven game? A game where you have to run your economy the best or else you will lose. Something like a Brass or something like a... even Raccoon Tycoon. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite economics-driven game as we talk about mobile markets. Now, this is a streamlined version of smartphoning, but it's not like a strip. It's a different game. It has a lot of the same elements, the whole turning pads thing, but it's a different game and a different feel. So let's take a look at mobile markets right now, see what it does, see how it plays from Arcane Wonders and the Dice Tower Essentials line. Mobile markets right here laid out in not play style, because actually you would have this in a straight line, and I'll show you why in a minute, but just so it all fits on frame for the camera, I wanted you to see the different phases because that's what's most important. Essentially, the reason you lay it in a line is because these customers will go out based on their amount they'll pay, and that would be these prices indicated by the red numbers. Everybody will get two starting tiles like this. There's a black one and a white one, backwards. And then you'll have starting features and starting technologies. Now, features are things that you're going to use when you make your individual phones, because that's what we're doing in this game. We are making actual phones and selling them in the markets, which involves production costs. So anytime you see that symbol, that is a production cost. So let's just say my phone here has these two symbols. Now, I'll be able to sell to people who want those and giving me stars for the requirements, but it will raise the cost of my phones 1 + 1 + 1. So my phone cost would be 3. So even if I'm selling at 8, which we'll get to in a minute, my profit would be 5. See, that is what makes this super different than the regular smartphone game, is the fact that you do have to deal with profits and actual building of phones and the cost building associated with it. Now, preparation phase is where you start. You start the prices, everybody back at 5. Discard any cards in the display with a -1 and all the cards with the cost of 1. Place -1 on each remaining card in the display, and then refill the features and the marketing and technology cards. So you also have marketing and technology cards. These are marketing cards. You're going to spend your marketing points, and we'll talk about that in a minute, to buy these. These are usually things like, bonuses that'll boost you right now, or some in-game goals and things like that. So these are just good to have, little perks and bonuses. Technologies, these are, if you have this, do this, or ignore cost on 2 of your feature cards. Certain things, they're just really things that'll buff your game and build your engine better. That's what the technology cards do. And again, you'll start with one of those. So ignore cost on one of your features if you have the N symbol on the product. I don't know what that actually means, but the symbol, it's something, I'm sure, in phones. But get a progress token if you don't sell all your phones at the sale. Then you have your features, which are, again, these are features that your phones could have. And the reason you want that is because your customers will want that. Now, you're going to fill the customers up in a 2-player game, always 2 of each, and you'll flip them over and put them at their cost. That changes based on the amount of players. But you'll also have an event card, and there are 5 events. So the game happens in 5 rounds, in which you'll also place the customers listed here. But each time there's an event, you don't just cover this up, you actually hold it like this. So then you'll have the 2, 2, 2 plus this, plus this, plus this. And as the game grows, you'll get more and more customers. And the reason that matters is because these customers, so let's put 2 of them out here. So he wants to buy phones at 8. Or he will buy phones all the way up to 8. But it has to have that feature. So $8 and that feature, and they'll buy it for you for $8. They won't buy it otherwise. There are here, so these are pretty much straightforward. This is how much money I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to pay 6, I'll pay less, and like that. They will not pay more than that. And then the variable one is, I'll either pay the cost you're selling your phones for, or I'll pay 2. But the reason I'll pay what you're selling it for is if they have these features. If you have both of these features, I'll buy it for whatever you're selling it for. So that's the interesting thing about these customers, is they will buy the phones based solely on amount and features, or amount or features. And that's how you're able to sell more money, even though they could potentially be easier to get based on your features. So Planning happens. Then you're going to take these and you're going to arrange them just like in Smartphone Inc. So essentially one square has to be covered at least by the other square, and you can't, so you couldn't do this and you couldn't do this. So you have to have at least one showing. I think it's at least one square is covered and one. Yeah, so you can't have a complete coverage. Now you could do this. You could even do this if you wanted to. And the reason this matters is these symbols matter. So obviously this is going to lower your price, -1. So even though you're producing a phone, that's -1 to your cost of the phones. Now again, this one is different because having a lower cost isn't always something you can just slip under people and buy it, because you will buy in order and you'll buy based on private customers first, then public customers. Now you can take private customers, I'll show you how in a minute. This raises your price. So you can find a way to do this in such a way where, okay, well now my phones cost 8. Boom, boom, boom. I'm also making a phone here, plus anything you have covered on the under one is a phone as well that you're making. So 1, 2, 3, because those are covered. You would not get that bonus if you had done something like this. It wouldn't be 1, 2, 3. It would be 1, 2, 3, not 4. So then you have the marketing points, technology points, and the price. That's really all that's on these. Now, there's a lot of variety in how you can flip these up and change them. Again, so if I had done this, because I'm covering 4 on the bottom and 1 showing here, my price would increase by 2. I would have 2 technology points, 1 marketing point, and I would be making 1 for the 1 showing, and then the 4 that are covered, so 5 total phones. That is what this section is all about. Now pricing, our price will go up to a 7 as we see on that. So I would adjust my phones to here. No one is under the 7 currently. Technology, I have 2 technology points to spend. So you would have a range of technology here that you could buy from a display. They cost 2, 3, 2, and then the features as well. If you didn't want to, you could buy as many features as you want and up to 1 technology that you want. So you could buy all these if you wanted. For R2, we could buy this one and that one. We could have both of those features. Now granted, they both raise the price of the phone. They raise the cost of the phone. But let's just say now, technology, we've done that. Marketing, we only have 1 to spend, so we don't have enough to buy any of the cards here in this display, so we're just gonna take a private customer of our choice. Now, I feel like it would not be a bad investment since we have 2 of these right here, and we can already sell to this person for our cost since we have these. I think we should probably take another varied customer. Boom, there we go. Don't have that symbol yet, but I can hold on to this until I do. All right, so then we go technology, now we go marketing, we've done that. Now we produce, so now we produce, what did I say, 5 phones, so 5 right there. Now we also then take goods, plus the event cards. I think it'll tell us, oh, if we produce 1 for the event card, so there's 6. And then now we sell. So we create a product by placing the features on the phone. So I'm putting these down here. Determine the net profit. So I cost 1, 2, 3. Now, had I put a card here, it would also cost another additional 1 plus the one on the phone. So my cost is 3, but my profit, my price is 7. My cost is 3. So I'm selling my phones for a profit of 4. Now, if I can get all 6 of these phones sold, great. I don't know that that's going to happen. So then we go to selling. Sell a phone. So A, you sell to private customers first. We cannot sell to our private customer. B, sell to public customers on the market. There's a finicky little rule here where you have to go lowest cost left to right first. Now granted, they will buy it for the price that we have because we have the feature. So this person will pay 4 for this. So they'll pay 7, you know what I mean? But we get 4 profit for that if we have those features, which we have this one, which means that these will go over here. We drop this down to 2, and then the next person will go. Now you see, if you're able to sell a lot of phones, you might take all the customers out from under the person behind you. So it behooves you to go first. Turn order is based on the lowest price. So essentially that is the mitigation factor to where you don't just eat up all the phones. Anyway, you'll then get a bonus for the market share for selling the most phones. So first is $8, second is 4, third is 2. You'll receive money equal to the phones sold multiplied by the net profits. That's how the game plays. You'll play until round 5. Person with the most points wins the game. So that's it. Now, naturally, you know that Smartphone Inc. is one of my favorite games of all time. It's in my top 100 list. It's pretty high ranked. So naturally, I thought, well, I'm going to obviously like this game going into it. And first of all, it looks great. I like the idea of what we're doing. We're selling phones on a smaller basis as opposed to a large scale company. We're selling them to individual customers or maybe to stores, right? I really enjoy that. I like the zoomed in focus of this game. I think it makes it really, really fun. So all in all, the game looks great. I've always liked this look. It's very sleek, kind of almost like something you would see in Apple or Android store, almost, and kind of the sleek advertising and things like that. So I think it looks great. It does what it's trying to accomplish when it comes to its goals of having that look of, oh, we look like a phone advertisement or things like that. So well done there. So obviously the game looks great. The symbology is very simple. It always has been. It's very easy to follow, plus, minus. The only tricky part that people have a hard time remembering is covering a symbol gives you a phone. But let's start with gameplay. Now the gameplay itself, I love and have loved the concept of the flipping boards and wish that more games would use it, unless it's some sort of proprietary IP in which they can't, but who knows. But I love that method of choosing your actions and choosing what you're going to do on the turn based on turning those things over. That to me is one of the smartest ones. I'd love to see a fighting game use that, to where you're coming out and fighting trolls in a dungeon, and yet depending on what you flip up, maybe you heal if you do this, or maybe I can do extra damage if I do that. I love this method and mechanic. So I want to see more games use this if they can. However, it's so well done in these two games. It's so smart. Now, this one doesn't have the extra boards where you can add and subtract and get extra more, but it's more about the idea of, okay, how can I most efficiently this turn use my actions? And then the process, right? We go along. Okay, does it make more sense to me to use it for a feature or a technology right now? Does it make more sense to use these marketing cards points for marketing cards, or should I go ahead and get some private customers that I know I'm going to be able to sell more phones to? It's one of those things where, depending on your gameplay style, there's variety here. So at the end of the day, if you liked Smartphone Inc., this is a no-brainer. It's obviously a win. If you did not like Smartphone Inc., this still probably will turn your attention, because I'm guessing the reason you didn't like Smartphone Inc. was mostly for the area control, locking people down, shutting people out thing. This one doesn't have that. The only shutting someone down is that they may buy the customers you want, but then you can mitigate that beforehand by knowing, okay, I want to play my game a little differently. So you can't get shut down in round 1 for round 5. It doesn't work like that. So end of the day, Mobile Markets is a fantastic game. I love this game. Go out and pick it up right now. Such a fun experience, such a fun concept and mechanic, and everything that's involved with these games. So Mobile Markets, I'm Brian Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, etc. at Dice Tower Brian. Until next time, we'll see you.